everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures, and it's time for our weekly painting progress, except this time with a new camera, because it doesn't seem to be going crazy, or maybe it is, and you can chastise me about that later. But anyways, this is a Bushido model that I did not know how to paint, and now I notice that his pants match these string decorative ties a little too much. That was not my intention. This was from the starter set for the main good guy faction. Prefecture of Ryo? Something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but he came out okay. Nothing super exciting, but he's done nonetheless. Alright, what else we got? Oh, so this week, honestly, I'm not super duper pleased with my results, but they are results, so I can't really complain. But I want to take this moment, speaking of chastisement, and I want to point what I'm hoping is some sort of an error out that I wasn't aware of until I actually started painting this model. And this is a Raging Heroes lizard lady, or at least I think it's supposed to be a lizard lady. So you can see here, she is quite voluptuous, which isn't really an issue. It's when you flip her around on the backside, and I don't know if I can get this in focus for you guys to see here, and maybe my painting ruined it, but there were absolutely strands of hair, and you can kind of see it there, except there's no human head. It is fully lizard head. And as a lot of people postulated, and maybe I needed to fill in those parts of her necklace a little bit better there, that these were probably originally human models, and then they just slapped a lizard head onto the body, which sort of kind of works, but you might want to make sure that you get rid of the hair next time. That it was like with the High Elves last month, where they had a couple of the models were like 54 millimeter instead of 32 millimeter. Otherwise, I mean, that little thing, it's a pretty nice model. I like it. It looks cool. Can't speak to how well it's going to stack up with GW or other lizard models. Well, I sort of kind of can, because I have one right here. This is a one-page rules model, and you'll see that I forgot to paint his eyes. Cool. Now, he's not fully standing straight. He is kind of hunched over in combat. I keep thinking I painted one of the kind of temple guard ones as well at some point in history. Maybe I did. I think he's on a 32 millimeter base. Yeah. Actually, so is she. I mean, they look pretty good together. I think having the same skin tones and the fancy head crests, at least for the higher ranking models, kind of makes sense. But then here is a grunt one. This one is from Raging Heroes as well, and those feathers lost all detail. That's on me. They're nice figures. I gotta say, I've been really enjoying Raging Heroes stuff lately, as have I with one-page rules models. I'm debating if I want to go and subject myself to printing out their big, giant Eternal Dynasties Canon Titan. I'm kind of leaning towards yes. I don't know if anybody's going to stop me. Oh, and speaking of Raging Heroes, I painted some of the elves. I'm not super happy with the results, but they're painted. I don't know what their names are. And I was noticing I've started painting a couple of the other elves that came in their High Elf release. This is a second batch, though. And none of them are on the ground. They're all leaping, flying, dancing their way across the tabletop. Getting to try to paint her face was a challenge, and it didn't turn out all that good, but I tried. This was also a really bad print. I mean, that's on me. That was like the tail end of when I was just like, screw it, I really need to change the screen on this printer. And to accompany her, an even worse print, but an even cooler model. This was the Heroes Infinite version of this model, the Sword Master. So the regular version is she's supposed to just be standing on the ground with the one blade. But then they have her floating with a whole sword array on her back. And I think the green gem really needs some highlights. That's really boring looking. But I just didn't bother. Now, thankfully, you can't really see it unless I start to point out there's some really bad print lines from where my screen was tearing itself to pieces and scarring itself, and some nice glossy hair that needs to get fixed, but I still can't get over it. This is a single piece, and getting all those swords off is a miracle unto itself, because the resin that I like to use, that water washable stuff, is quite flexy, and I kept fearing that I was going to break it. She hasn't broken yet, fingers crossed. I mean, despite me, I've dropped her a couple times. I dropped her outside, in fact, out in the grass when I was picking these up right before filming. That was fun. And then I had an experiment in trying to use up my contrast paints. And I went back and I had a few more of these. Oh, God. I don't remember what. They're Atlan Forge Shark Warrior guys. That's what we'll call them. It was like a Taika Waititi's name, or I don't remember what it was. Waiko Tahiti, Waikiki. There was some punny name. Anyway, tried painting two of them. I mean, they came out okay. I feel like it's uneven. And I did a terrible job. Look at that. It's like Nurgle pustules growing on them. That's just scarring from, what's it called? Supports there. Otherwise, it came out pretty decent. Not bad. I think I could have done better. I know I could have done better. But the problem was with those contrast paints, it's really a chore to try to get everything to go back over it, or just to get it even in the first place. So, I mean, it's just me experimenting and messing around. It's still a work in progress, but we'll try it again. Those guys weren't as bad as their friends here. So here are the latest. These are the Terminator versions. They were like the Roroa or something like that. Again, not the best print job on my part, but I love the fact, and I really do like Atlan Forge's stuff anyways, and we'll have the link down below, but literally everything that they've made, instead of, being very cookie cutter in terms of the armor at least, all the different armors that their chapters of Space Warriors use is very unique and very distinct from one another. I mean, sure, there's some similarities across the board, as I would expect, but like the kind of imagery on the armor plating, the old school rounded studs, even on the chainsaw blade, I thought that was a cool touch. But again, for me, the issue is with the paint, getting it to be even. It never wants to come out even. And they're big dudes. Let's grab a regular Marine here. Here's a Primaris one to show you guys. So, I mean, they're pretty much in line with a Primaris, but since we're not going to get Primaris Terminators anytime soon, it looks like. I don't know. I still see these guys as like Space Corsairs or something. And then I had to print one with the claws. And again, look, see, it's all splotchy and stuff. And I mean, I tried to even it out, but it just didn't want to work. I'm not sure what these plugs are supposed to be, but I figured since he's got power claws, maybe they're generators. Of course, there's 4 claws on each hand, and there's only 6 of these little generator things, but that's okay. I still like these guys. I'm thinking I'll go back if I print some more. I think I might have another bits for at least one more of them. Maybe just try like a straight base color and work my way up. And then finally, no, I did not forget, but yet another Kingdom Death model. This is Easter Aya, and I did an awful job. And you know what? I don't even care. I've ruined that face. I've repainted her so many times. I'm just done with her. I think from a distance at least, it's going to look fine. When she's all up close and personal, yeah, you can see it's not the best paint job. But you know what? She's done. And that puts me at having officially painted every gaming-sized pinup model. Not the 54mm stuff, mind you. I haven't even built that one. I just found it the other day. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. So, yeah, I don't know. Now, I can't promise, but I did manage to do it all month. I did, and hopefully everybody saw that new Kingdom Death update with the Oblivion Mosquito. That just gets my hopes up for more armor sprues that I don't know when I'll ever be able to build or paint. It just teases me and haunts me. But that's a whole different story. I'm going to try to figure out what to paint next from Kingdom Death. As I said, I will try to do a model a week, if it's possible. I'll at least start one next week. I don't know if I'm going to have one finished in time. Nobody's lit that fire of imagination yet for painting them so far. I've got a couple models that are almost done this week. But I gotta say, not a bad haul. I mean, it may not be the greatest paint jobs on this stuff, but it is painted, it is done, and I did have fun doing it, I'll be honest. At least, you know, with the experimenting with the contrast paints, I don't know, man, I'm thinking maybe I'll give those speed paints a try from Army Painter. If you guys have any experience with them, I know I talked to some people over the weekend about that. If you guys want to share your thoughts down below, they're worth me tracking down a box and seeing what happens. By all means, let me know. Heck, maybe once I get everything arranged this summer, I mean, since I'll have most of June to myself, maybe we can do like a live stream of me butchering my way through it. Oh, you know what? I think I have like one of the old Blitz Bowl paint sets from when those were at Barnes & Noble. It was like pre-pandemic, I think. Jesus. I wonder if those are still good. I don't even think I opened it. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe I'll grab those too. So, if you're curious about tracking any of these models down, as always, or just so you know, always, there will be links down below where you can indulge in all of these artistic endeavors just as, well, hopefully better than me, but just as mediocrely as I do. And as always, we do have our link to our Patreon page as well. So if you enjoy the channel and you want to continue to help see it grow, or just support us and cheer us on, your appreciation is always accounted for. I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. God dang. Anyways, all right, I'm rambling, and I'm smelling really good food, so that is my cue to stop talking, go eat, and get this posted, and hopefully I will see you all on the other side. And so with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.